Hey, brother, do me a favor. Come here. Hey, stop. Vote for 2.
Hi everyone, Donut here. Today's video features one of the most butt-puckering shootouts I have seen on a body camera.
That's impossible!
This is every officer's worst case scenario. You get into a gunfight, you're mid-reload, the bad guy hears and sees that you are mid-reload, and that's when they decide to rush you. No backup, hardly any time to react, just a pure oh shit moment. The stuff nightmares are made of. I also have some other stories that we're going to talk about, so hang out with me for a while, but first a word from our sponsor. Our sponsor for this video is ShipStation. Life is already pretty chaotic, but if you run an e-commerce business and you have to worry about order fulfillment, that's a special long kind of chaos. That's where ShipStation can help you save time and money. If you run an e-commerce business, wouldn't you love to automate shipping tasks and manage orders on one easy-to-use dashboard for your e-commerce business? Well, that's where ShipStation comes in. As someone who's used ShipStation for a few e-commerce businesses, I can tell you this is the way to go. A way to save money and time. One of my favorite things about ShipStation are the savings when it comes to shipping. You can save up to 88% off UPS, DHL Express, and USPS, and up to 90% off FedEx rates when you're shipping your product to your customers. Small business, big business, doesn't matter. ShipStation makes it super easy for you. Not only do you save time and money, but it can seamlessly integrate with sales channels that you already use. Sales channels such as eBay, Amazon, Shopify, Wix, even Walmart, and many more. Over 130,000 companies have grown their e-commerce businesses using ShipStation. 98% of those companies that stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life. They're that freaking good at managing your orders, printing shipping labels, saving tons of money, and saving you time. You can test it out and get a free trial by going to shipstation.com/donutoperator. That's shipstation.com/donutoperator. I want to talk about something kind of funny real quick. You see, I'm suffering from virility today. That's right, I'm a little viral.
AIDS? Nobody's got AIDS.
You ever see someone that's so disrespectful that an entire country gets together and says, yeah, maybe punch him in the face? Lately, it's been that walking sack of turds named Johnny Somali. Who is that? Unless you follow him being a piece of shit on Twitter, or you're a 12-year-old who actually thinks he's funny, you might not know who he is. He's some dipshit kid who makes a living being the living embodiment of a hate crime in every country he visits. Well, it turns out after months of harassing people, dancing on historical trauma, and just generally being far from a human being, someone finally gave him what every decent person on the planet thinks that he deserves. A fucking seat. From a South Korean Navy SEAL of all people. What happened right after that? You may have seen the police officer in the clip. He was arrested immediately and fined. Didn't have to do any jail time though, so that's cool. He was fined up to $7,000 though, for doing what should have been classified as humanitarian aid. So I did what I had to do. I paid the fine. Well, most of it. He crowdfunded the first $3,000. I just brought it home. Shout out to Legal Mindset for bringing all this to my attention. He's got a pretty great YouTube channel as well. Why did I pay that? It wasn't just some random assault. The dude thought it would be funny to go to Korea and twerk on a statue that is dedicated to sexual slavery victims. That's not edgy. That's not comedy. That's just being a dumb little asshole. He tried to claim that it was attempted murder and that he has PTSD from the incident, but I don't really fucking care. Look, I've been in this content creation streaming game for a decade now. This is not the way to get your name out there because someone might come along and pop you in the face. Frankly, I think there's an epidemic of people who have not been punched in the face really hard by a grown man, and they act like it. The little Johnny Somalis and the Jack Dohertys of this world. Which that kid just had his chain stolen from him in Los Angeles. Oh no. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. South Carolina brought back the firing squad recently. I gotta say, it's nice to finally have a state making some cost-effective decisions. This one happened last month. I'm just now catching wind of it. Check this out. Brad Sigman, who killed his ex-girlfriend's parents with a baseball bat, was shot by 3 volunteer Broad River Correctional Institution employees. Let's face it, lethal injection is a mess. Sometimes it doesn't work right, so you're left with a person pretty much just dying a very slow and painful death. We've seen executions drag out for hours. People flopping around because the chemical mixture is kind of f***ed up, or companies just not wanting to supply them properly. All sorts of stuff can go wrong with injecting chemicals that are supposed to kill someone into their body. Meanwhile, taxpayers are left paying millions of dollars for a very inefficient and ineffective solution.
Yeah, imagine that.
Meanwhile, the firing squad, boom, dead in 3 seconds. Cheaper, faster, way less complicated. And it sends a message, hey, if you want to kill people, we'll just shoot you. The way the world should be. And our guy today, he actually made that choice himself. He looked at the options, the electric chair, lethal injection,
we just talked about this,
or a quick guaranteed way out. He said, you know what? Let's keep it simple. I can respect that level of practicality. The dude even told authorities, like, I don't want to be sitting there for hours dying from a lethal injection. I don't want to get fried to death. Shoot me, bro.
all right, you ready?
Kiss me, baby.
Before you get weepy about this guy, how did he get into this situation? Back in 2001, he bludgeoned his ex-girlfriend's parents to death with a bat. Over what, you might say? A f***ing breakup. Wasn't self-defense, wasn't a heat of the moment, crime of passion type bullshit thing. Dude's just a crazy person. Now, 24 years later, he finally gets to meet the Lord and explain it himself. Well, probably not the Lord, that other guy.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. I should have stayed down in hell where I belong.
Where are you now, Satan?
I'm in California.
So how exactly did this legal shooting and execution of people shooting someone to death in 2025 go down? Our guy gets strapped into a chair, they put a hood over his head and slap a target over his heart, and 3 prison guards step up behind a wall. The whole thing takes 3 minutes. Exactly 6:05 p.m. the order was given, 3 rifles went off, and by 6 or 8 p.m. he was declared dead. 3 bullets, 1 target, and 0 taxpayer-funded lawsuits about if he felt pain. Compare that to some lethal injections where they're poking around trying to find a vein, like an intern drawing blood for the first time. Or the electric chair where people can sometimes catch fire. Yeah, I think firing squad is the way to go. Of course, the usual crowd showed up outside of the prison. They were holding signs like justice, not execution, acting like this guy didn't beat 2 innocent people to death with a baseball bat. People are out here talking about how barbaric firing squads are, like they forgot what this guy did to his victims. I don't think we're supposed to feel bad for him. Even if you are insane enough to feel bad for this baseball bat murderer, at least he wasn't burned alive or had to suffer hours because of a bad cocktail.
I botched that one. Oh, that's a botched job.
Before he met his maker, he decided to go full revival, reading off a bunch of Bible verses about mercy and grace. He even says nowhere in the New Testament does God give the authority for a man to kill another man, which is f***ing rich coming from him considering what he did 24 years ago.
How ironic.
Hey, I'm pro firing squad. Let's go, South Carolina. South Carolina, unlike California, proves that the justice system sometimes does follow through. It works. Actions have consequences. Some crimes are so brutal, there should only be one outcome. That's South Carolina, but meanwhile, let's talk about New York. We've got the opposite. A justice system that bends over backwards to give some of the worst people imaginable a second chance. And surprise, surprise, sometimes it goes exactly how you would imagine. A New York man was let out on parole after attacking a child in one of the worst imaginable ways possible. Instead of using his newfound freedom to, I don't know, not be a walking nightmare, he lasted a whole 30 days before ending himself right back in jail. This time for attacking a teenage girl in a Bronx stairwell. Let's go back a bit and I'll talk about why this guy shouldn't be walking around amongst normal people. A little bit over a decade ago, this guy threw a 9-year-old boy off of a 5-story rooftop. Why? Because the child was going to report what he had done to him. You can probably guess what he had done to him. It wasn't some random act of violence, it was premeditated. It's a cold-blooded attack to make sure his victim never spoke out. They ended up giving him less than a decade, 8 years, because he was convicted of attempted murder. The little boy managed to live. I mean, that's why they took it easy on him. Well, he did try to kill a kid, but the kid lived. Let's only give him 8 years.
He looked all right to me.
As I was saying earlier, a month into parole, he grabs a 15-year-old girl out of an elevator, pulls her into a stairwell, and assaults her. Luckily, he was picked up the next day and charged with first-degree assault. I think that was a pretty predictable thing that was going to happen. Good old New York City. All right, time for our main story. Our main story with some badass gunplay. We're heading to Victorville, California, a town where people moved thinking they were escaping some of the crime from Los Angeles, but they ended up getting stuck with some good old-fashioned California crime anyways. December 1st, 2023, 1:43 p.m. This guy right here, rocking the official facial hair of someone with unpaid child support, thought it'd be a great idea to threaten his girlfriend with a gun inside of an Arco. What the f*** is an Arco? Arco, gas for less. Oh, it's like a 7-Eleven, but for that shithole that is California. Oh my God, Arco's got some crime going on. 3 teens charged with attempted murder after shooting at Hillsborough Arco. Man fought employee during robbery at Arco. National City stabbing at Arco gas station leads to multiple arrests. Mother you. Find this paywall's family. Homicide suspect involved at rollover crash after killing person at Arco. I'm gonna find your family too. Salem construction worker pursued, shot in the head Thursday. We're at Enhance. Arco. In Arco, man. I mean, seriously, the guy has the dead-eyed stare of a 40-year-old stripper.
She's a junkie.
Now, his girlfriend, probably realizing that she's dating one of the henchmen that works for the Joker, locks herself in the bathroom and calls 911. That's right, inside the Arco bathroom.
No, I need the police. I have a customer that went inside the restroom and she says that she's with the guy. The guy's outside in a silver Altima and he is threatening her and he has a gun.
That's when a police sergeant with nearly 2 decades on the job rolls up. This isn't a rookie. This is an 18-year veteran, Medal of Valor level badass. But he wasn't even ready for the absolute insanity that was about to unfold. He steps up to the guy to talk to him and the guy immediately bolts into the store. The guy whips around and pulls out a gun like he's auditioning for the Darwin Awards. Hey, Brandon just came out with a new one. No, Cursed Gun Images. Go watch Brandon. Brandon Herrera.
Hey, brother, do me a favor. Come here. Hey, stop. Vote for 2.
Full speed, 0 brain cells, no standoff, no demands. Just pure instinctual panic with a side of felony. His master plan was, maybe if I just wave a gun around inside of the Arco, everything will magically get better. What if I point it at a cop? I mean, shit, look at this. Enhance. Enhance. 2 hands on the pistol, pointing it at a cop. You don't need much more intent to kill someone than this. Well, you do, but that's coming up. It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out what happens next.
Sam 5, I'm hit. Shots fired.
The sergeant actually takes multiple rounds, both legs, in his calf, in a foot, and one that punches through his taser before hitting him in the vest. Thank Christ for Kevlar, because the sergeant would have been done for. Hey, look on the bright side, a taser was actually useful.
It sucked.
Now your average man would have curled into a sad little ball like a fainting goat, but not this sergeant. This mad lad hits the ground, stays calm, radios for help, and reloads his gun like it's just another workday. And just as he's getting a fresh mag seated, guess who comes running back outside the Arco like it's round 2? This could be it. Bleeding out on the asphalt, you barely got your gun reloaded, and suddenly the bad guy who should have just taken that cosmic hint after the first round of lead salad comes back out to finish the job.
Stop! You violated the law.
But the sergeant, stone cold. The sergeant jumps up and pops some rounds center mass right into that dude's chest. Only problem is our boy accidentally ejects a fresh mag after those couple of shots. I mean, hey, after getting shot as many times as he did, I'm surprised he didn't forget how to breathe. Our deputy was able to load another fresh mag and finish off the suspect.
Sam 5, I'm hit multiple times. Send meds. Suspect down.
The sergeant ends up getting airlifted out of there for his injuries. And even more proof that he's built just a little bit different, he's back on the job 2 months later like he just went off on vacation for a long weekend. And yeah, he got the Medal of Valor, obviously. The sheriff said he's never seen so many shootings in his 31-year career. Between crime rates, fires, California gas prices, f***ing Democrats. The real question is, why does anyone even leave their house anymore? What's the takeaway here? Don't be that guy. If you pull a gun at a gas station and point it at a police officer, expect to be ventilated. Shout out to that absolute f***ing unit of a sergeant. Took 5 rounds, managed to reload twice, and destroyed that guy. If anyone knows the contact information for the sergeant, I would love to send him a care package. That's all I have for you fine people today. Want to help support the channel? Go on over to donutoperator.com. Subscribe to pepperbox.tv to see all of this stuff uncensored. Or check out my vlog channel at Operation Donut. Until next time, please have a fantastic day.